Hey, what's up, nerds? Hey, it's Paul at Radio Free Hammer Hall. Today, I want to take a look at the Slaves to Darkness Demon Prince and ask a very simple question. Are these finally good enough to find their way into some lists? Now, for me personally, the answer is absolutely yes, and I'm going to run you through the War Scroll and the other options that we have in Allegiance abilities that I think are going to really like optimize the Demon Prince and make him much more valuable. So first of all, I want to be running the Champions of Chaos battle formation. That's going to give him 2 extra attacks on his profile. Um, that is going to be my go-to, I think, in this season in general. A lot of Slave to Darkness heroes already hit pretty hard, and that is just going to put a lot of them over that edge into being really powerful. Also, most of the other sub factions are really not that great, so I think you're going to get a lot more bang for your buck out of the Champions of Chaos than you are out of other things. Okay, so let's just kind of review through this War Scroll and see uh, what we've got going on. So moves 8, 3-up save with a 6-up ward, control score of 5, which is pretty solid, uh, and then 10 health. 10 health, 3-up save, 6-up ward. That is fairly tanky. Um, for just for what he is, right? He's not setting the world on fire. He's not a big monster, but he is gonna be able to hang, I think. Um, his melee weapon, the Hellforged weapons, 6 attacks, threes, rend 1, damage 3 with crit mortal. Now, I think since we're going to be running Champions of Chaos, you can easily bump that up to 8 attacks. So that is going to be swinging a lot of damage around. Other things on this guy, he automatically gets a pledge to Chaos when you pick him in your list. Personally, I would go with Khorne to get him 1 extra attack. Alternatively, Tzeentch can make him really fast. Nurgle is going to get him to a 5-up ward, so he's going to be even tankier, but I don't know if that's really the thing you want to use. Slaanesh, I'm not sure that that's really going to add a lot of value for us. We got a couple of War Scroll options. We can either go with Wings or a Trophy Rack for him. If he takes Wings, he moves his move characteristic to 10 inches instead of 8 and gains Fly. If he takes the Trophy Rack, then he will have Anti-Hero +1 Rend. I think both of those are really solid. Now, flying is going to be a little bit of a handicap in the current GHB. So I think there's going to be some real benefit to running the Trophy Rack. You're only gaining 2 inches of movement out of your Demon Prince by throwing wings on him. So I think you're not really gaining a tremendous amount. Now, my Demon Princes I currently have modeled with wings, and I don't know if I'm going to pick up another one because I already have 3 for some reason. And they're all the new one. Of course they are. I don't know why I buy as much crap as I do, but you know. And then the last ability he has, Immortal Champion. In any combat phase, you roll a die. On a 4-up, he gets Strike First. Importantly, Hero Infantry. He is not a monster. And a lot of people seem to be mistaking him for a monster. but he's not that big. And then on his battle profile, he is currently 260 points on a 60 millimeter base. And his regiment options, where I think things get kind of interesting. 0 to 1 Ruinous Champions, so you can take some bonus heroes, or a bonus hero with your Demon Prince, and any Slaves to Darkness. So he gives you all of the utility that you need in his regiment to really take whatever you want in your list. So, where are we at with this? Either with wings moving 8, or I'm sorry, moving 10, or with a trophy rack moving 8, he is reasonably fast. Not very fast, but reasonably quick. He's reasonably tanky, currently 260 points, with Champions of Chaos and a Corn Mark. He's throwing 9 attacks. 3s, rend 1, 3 damage with crit mortals. So on average, the math works out to 10.5 if you just do like raw numbers, which means you basically are going to get even odds of most of the time you're going to be hitting 9 or 12 damage with this guy when he attacks. And half of the time he's going to have strike first. In addition, you can give him the Deathmonger heroic trait, which lets him pile in and attack twice once per game. And, of course, has that caveat of the second attack has to strike last. So, thinking about it this way, you're going to average, like, if you do that, you're going to average, like, 21 damage with this guy. Some of it being mortals, because he has crit mortal, in that 1 turn per game. I mean, that is hitting really hard with a very small footprint, only a 60 millimeter base. He is really not big on the battlefield. That's also giving you an advantage defensively, right? Your opponent, doesn't have as much ability to pile into him and get optimize the number of attacks. You just kind of attack at like a corner of a unit, and you won't necessarily be able to have your opponent get everybody in a larger unit. Not always going to work, but certainly is something that he has available to him. He's throwing around a lot of damage, and he is pretty good on defense. He's fast, and he can potentially strike first. He becomes a Deathmonger really well. I just really like this guy. He's doing all of the things that I really want a hero to be doing, and right, like this is like in a lot of ways like peak in this GHB. He's gonna hit hard, and he's gonna give you, open all of your regiment options, which is really like one of the big purposes of having heroes at all in the current edition with the way list building works. So I really like this guy a lot now. If you're not running a list into making them optimized, then, I would say still not worth 260 points. Maybe even still needs to come down a little bit. But he's really ticking a lot of boxes, and with how few how few heroes in this book currently have like abilities, or in the game currently in general have like synergistic abilities that you're really going to be able to use really well. I think he's doing all of the hero things that you would expect him to do, and he's doing them well. And he's going to be fast, so he's going to be a good utility piece. He can fly around the board. If you give him wings, obviously, but he can move around pretty quickly with a trophy rack too, and um, really do a lot of damage, get into the backfield, um, help you with some battle tactics for sure. And yeah, I'm just a big fan of this right now. I think it's exactly the kind of hero that I really want to be playing in general. Um, just having, I love heroes that are relatively cheap and hit like a truck. And I think he's going to be hitting really hard. So that's going to be it. Drop some comments down below on what you think about Demon Princes currently, and I will talk to you all later.